On to the final movie for today's show, Curtains from 1983, which is a Canadian slasher movie. Pretty simple plots. It's got 6 young actresses who are auditioning for a movie role at this remote mansion, and they're just, being discarded one by this mysterious masked killer. And right at the beginning of the show, you were talking about how it's kind of gained a bit of popularity over the last, I'm not sure exactly how many years it's been, but yeah, probably 6-7 years, and that's thanks to, I think, who was it, Synapse, who released it on Blu-ray. It's a decent slasher movie. I don't think it's special enough to be compared side to side to some of the other great slasher movies out there, but it's got an interesting mask that they use for the killer, and the slasher scenes, they're fine. Story's okay. I thought it was decent.
I've seen this one maybe twice before. Much like Stage Fright, actually, I didn't like it quite as much this time around. Maybe I've just seen more movies and my view of what I like has changed, but I think it's an okay slasher. It feels a lot different than many of the others that came out, and that's somewhat intentional. I think it was supposed to be more like an adult slasher as opposed to like a teen slasher, which is a fine concept, but I don't know if it works that well. And I know that this movie had a lot of production issues too. I think it was originally supposed to be released in like 80 or 81, and it was pushed back like a whole year, and they put new scenes in and had a new director, so it just had a bunch of problems behind the scenes. And you can sort of tell that when watching it. It does seem a bit random toward the end. Like when we get to the final girl, I actually didn't know who that was for like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, wait, is that the singer or is that like the it just because most of these women were like interchangeable to me. The only one who stood out to me was the comedian because she had somewhat unique hairstyle. And maybe like the older woman who was like a veteran actress. But I don't know, it just I wish I liked the movie as much as I did before, but seeing it again, just the charm is really there. And I like the finale. And I do like the sort of ice skating scene that seems to be one of the most talked about sequences in the movie. But otherwise, I don't know if there's that much going for this.
Yeah. That's all I had. Yeah, like I said, it's just a very decent slasher movie from the 80s, but it's not special. I guess the only other thing that I had down to mention is, and I can't remember if this tune got played throughout the movie, maybe it did, but I noticed during the end credits it's got this kind of like piano tune for the movie, and which I really enjoyed. I tend to like a lot of music in horror movies played on piano. For some reason that really does it for me. And I just like the tune at the end of this one in the credits. I can't remember if that tune got played in the movie though.
To be honest, I didn't really notice. Although that did remind me, there was a scene toward the beginning, sort of like a dream sequence, where a woman drives up on the road and she finds like a doll in the middle of the road and picks it up and then gets killed. And I think that's sort of a creepy vibe dream sequence. And there are a few scenes throughout the movie that get a bit closer to what I'm looking for. I mean, when you have like a bunch of young actresses all auditioning for the same role, you would expect, I don't know, maybe just a bit more drama going on. I did like the scene with the director sort of like making fun of the comedian. I thought that it had some character behind it, but for the most part, I enjoyed aspects of the movie. It just didn't work for me as well as it used to, and to be honest, I was a bit disappointed. And it's still an okay slasher, but I can think of so many others from this time period that I would probably recommend watching before this one. I'll give this one a 6.5, so that's just a bit below average. I'll round it up to a 7. So I don't hate the movie by any means. I just think it's okay. I don't think it's really anything special, and I don't think it's like a hidden gem or anything. Though I do believe I used to think that, so I have become bitter with my old age.
Yeah, you're a grumpy old fuck. Yeah, no, I give this movie a 7. I think it's okay. I think it's decent. I have, you know, it does enough to satisfy my slasher urges, or you know, kind of what I want to get out of an 80s slasher movie. It certainly doesn't do anything to make it a one of those movies that you just have to bring up when you talk about 80s slashers.
Yeah, and I will say the ending is a bit more, not necessarily bleak, but it's a bit more darker than some people might think. You know, if anything, I think it does that part right. And I also really like the final scene of the movie. So I guess well done to Cottons.